Jerry's high.
Well, as the father of a teenage son who was at a midnight showing of Dark Knight Thursday night, this one hits pretty close to home. I mean, this was happening all over America. This was a cultural event, not just in Aurora, Colorado, but everywhere. And so I think for a lot of Americans, this could have been me, feeling very strong after this.
For the good Lord.
Right, exactly. And so, I do think Susan's right. One of the tendencies in these situations that we all fall prey to is to jump to too many conclusions too fast before we know what has really happened. But the one thing for sure is that there will be a renewed debate about youth in America, gun control in America, and violence in America. And it so happens it's in the middle of a presidential campaign season. This is not a presidential campaign issue, but those subjects, I think now inevitably will be.
And, of course, President Obama canceled his campaign appearance today.
Right, Diane. This was the second day of a Florida trip. Obviously, Florida, a critical swing state. He spent yesterday there. He is in Fort Myers. We expect him to address the tragedy in Colorado around 11:20 this morning. He was expected to do another event. He had a scheduled campaign event that he has now canceled and will return to D.C. And I'm just seeing on Twitter, so take it with a grain of salt, but I'm seeing on Twitter that at the event in Fort Myers, where he will make an address, they've taken down all sorts of any campaign signs and sloganing to I think reflect the somberness of the moment. I would add, though, to Jerry's point, is that these things do not happen in a vacuum. We are in a political year. This will restoke, I think, a conversation about gun control, whether it changes anything.
Do you really?
I do think it will restoke the conversation. I've written already this morning, however, though, if you look at in the aftermath of similar events, Virginia Tech, Columbine, Gabrielle Gifford's attempted assassination in 2011, what you see occasionally, and this is the best case, is that you occasionally see a bump up in the conversation about gun control. What should we do? What should we not do? And then it returns back to the status quo. There does not seem to be a huge appetite for it. So I would say I don't think that takes away, it clearly doesn't take away from the tragedy of the families. And we all have kids. Look, it's a scary event. We all go to the movies. It's a scary thing that this can happen.
Two of our producers had children at the theater last night here in the Washington area.
It's too early to know what the political impact of this is, and it's probably inappropriate to dwell on that too long. I do think that one thing that struck me this morning was what a big event this is and how small the presidential debate seems, in that we've spent a week talking about Bain Capital. When did Governor Romney leave Bain Capital? President Obama saying, if you have a business, you didn't build that, a quote that's been taken out of context and used against him. And it seems like there are big things that perhaps we should be talking about.
Yet, what are those things? Should people be allowed to own guns, shotguns, machine guns, tear gas, have access to all those weapons? And, these incidents occur and there is talk and then it all goes away. And we're right back where we started until the next incident.
And I would say, Diane, if you look at over the polling trend over time, I looked at it this morning, it is a remarkable thing. In 1990, Gallup started asking a question about, do you think there should be more strict gun laws, less strict gun laws, or they should stay roughly the same? At the time, almost 8 in 10 people said there should be more strict gun laws. 10% said less strict. Now that number is 55% less strict or stay the same, 44% more strict. So you've just seen the decline. And look, it follows with the political debate again, which is that you do not hear anyone, Democrats or Republicans, really talk about gun control. I mean, this was at, the assault weapons ban. This was at one point a major political issue for Democrats. You do not hear Barack Obama talk much in those terms. And again, I think Susan is right. I think the thing always to remember here is that people's lives have been lost and families have been affected. That said, none of these things happen in a vacuum. They happen in a political context, and we as political reporters, I think, have to at least examine how those will be how the impact will be felt.